We got a bit of a Zulu there. Stop chucking them spears. Michael Caine. Again, I went to Africa, Kisumu, Kenya, because Jaffa and Shadi gang threatened that they would burn my mother alive in a car the next time they saw her. Genocide on the horizon. Rwanda. Mass graves you could have put the population to this into at the time. People hiding in mass graves to avoid being massacred. People dancing with fiendish delight in their victims' blood. God confirmed I was to go, and to go urgently, not one single penny from anybody. And when I flew in, every plane on the Sunday, every plane was fully booked with everyone coming out. There was only 10 days to go to the South African elections, over 300 years of white rule and oppression being overturned. Western intelligence were forecasting that if South Africa erupted into civil war, 50,000 people could be massacred in South Africa in a matter of days. And they were estimating that 50,000 had been massacred in the genocide at that time in Rwanda. It went up to over 1 million people in 100 days. And as always, no Roy White and White Van Man, Christian B, Red Car Michael Dunn, Michael Sands, Sutcliffe, Steve Wright, Wayne Cousins, Brady Huntley, Fred West, Black Panther, serial killer here, Africa, Dis, Norwich and Sandringham. And when I was standing on the shores of Lake Victoria, I was watching a big electrical storm. And Lake Victoria is the size of England, and electrical storms in Africa are very impressive. Sheet lightning, bolts of lightning crossing the sky. The Lord Jesus Christ Joshua said to me, Johnny, the storm is coming. The sword is out in Africa, the sword is out in the Middle East, the sword is out in the Far East, and the sword is out in Europe. And I know it was the Lord Jesus Christ Joshua voice in my spirit, because I could understand the sword being out in Africa, and I could understand the sword being out in the Middle East, the Far East. But I was surprised when the Lord said the sword was out in Europe, because nothing was happening in Europe. Not long after my return, then the Balkans erupted into war, Serbia, Bosnia, and we had mass graves on our own front doorsteps. Loads of war crimes and atrocities took place by both sides, and there were radar planes up over East Anglia. They were flying bombing missions into Serbia from RAF Mildenhall and Lakenheath, not far from here, big US air bases. Other air bases in East Anglia, and once again the sword is out in Europe, Africa, the Middle East and the Far East. And the storm is coming, one big firestorm on the horizon.